Question number 2, Mark Ruskell.
Thank you. To ask the Scottish Government whether it will provide an update on its plans to deliver a safer speed limit of 20 miles an hour by 2025 on all appropriate roads in built-up areas.
Cabinet Secretary Fiona Hislop.
The Scottish Government is committed to implement 20 miles per hour speed limits on appropriate roads by the end of 2025. If you're hit by a car in a built-up area at 20 miles per hour, you are 7 times more likely to survive than being hit at 30 miles per hour. In the 36-month period after implementing, Edinburgh City Council have seen a 31% reduction in casualty rates on the 20 miles per hour roads. All councils have now submitted their road assessment, identifying the appropriate roads for a speed limit of 20 miles per hour. Notably, councils themselves drive this work. A delivery subgroup that consists of officials from Transport Scotland, local authorities and wider road safety partners will oversee the implementation and will produce a detailed programme for delivery to meet the 2025 deadline, containing the actual costs to complete this important road safety initiative. Highland Council are currently successfully early adopters of speed reductions, with communities who don't have 20 miles speed limits yet asking for them.
Mark Ruskell.
Can I thank the Cabinet Secretary for that response, and also thank her for the constructive working that we've had on this and many other issues since she came back into government last year. From the borders to the Highlands, 20 mile an hour speed limits have been welcomed by communities, reducing dangerous speeds, making places feel safer and friendlier, and ultimately, as she says, saving lives. I welcome the progress being made by every single council in Scotland to identify those 20 mile an hour plans. But can the Cabinet Secretary confirm that the funding is there for councils to deliver this as a coordinated national programme, so that no community is left behind and no child in the future has to live on a residential street with a dangerous speed limit?
Cabinet Secretary.
I thank the member for his comments. The Scottish Government has allocated a record £36 million for road safety to reduce casualties and risks on our roads, delivering against our priorities within the road safety framework. Local road authorities were asked to identify the number of roads which would be suitable for a speed limit of 20 miles per hour and provide the approximate costs to implement within their respective areas. Highland Council, who are early adopters, as I said, of the strategy, are currently 62% below the original estimated budget. So any speculation based on rough estimates rather than detailed plans would be premature. Once we obtain detailed costs from local authorities through the delivery subgroup, we will consider what proportion of the overall road safety budget is required this financial year to deliver a coordinated programme and through towards 2025 as well.
Graham Simpson.
Thank you. Can I just say that I hope Mark Ruskell gets better pretty soon, because he's obviously not too well at the minute. Can I just ask the Cabinet Secretary to confirm that this will be entirely a matter for local councils? There will not be the same disastrous blanket rollout of 20 mile an hour as we've seen in Wales, which has had economically disastrous consequences for that country. Has she done any economic analysis for Scotland if such an approach was to be adopted?
Cabinet Secretary.
So if the Conservative member had kept up with developments, and I understand he probably hasn't, having read some of his comments in the papers, the difference between ourselves and Wales is the Welsh Labour government introduced a blanket 20 miles per hour reduction and is then hastily introducing retrospective exemptions by council. But the Scottish Government has had upfront exemptions for councils led by them, identified with steady and agreed rollout of 20 miles per hour speed reductions. I would say, however, that there have been positive studies so far from Wales as to the impact that they've had, and in terms of economic development and business impact, I think certainly high streets have the benefit of people being able to shop and walk and enjoy their town centres at leisure. And I think that certainly is the feedback we're already receiving. But I think you maybe want to visit some of the communities in the Highlands, including Rossmarco, who campaigned for 2 decades to get that 20 miles per hour limit introduced.